Hello, friends from the comic book and manga world. My name is G, and I'm here to talk about the December 15th, 2025 FOC. I work for Penguin Random House, so the titles that you see today are those um, from the publishers that we represent. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Facebook and on Instagram at PRH International Comics, where we'll post some news and updates on those channels. So I'll go ahead and get started on my picks for this week. And first up is Akia is in love with Hiroko. This is the volume 1. And we have Akia, who is passionately head over heels in love with her work senior Hiroko. You can see her crouching in adoration on the cover here. So she tries very, very hard to catch the attention of her crush. What is a girl supposed to do when her boss is seemingly not getting the hint? And then on the flip side of it, we have Hiroko, who is the boss, who has this reputation of being a real womanizer. Um, Her self-control is very much being tested when her beautiful and busty work subordinate starts to get awfully close to her. But she tries her very best to stay cool, especially since she's pretty sure that Ayaka is totally straight, which we know is totally not true. So we have this very cute DL romance for all you fans out there that you can pick up, which goes on sale in February. Now for something completely different, shifting gears here. This is Grim Night Tales Volume 1. This is a horror anthology that blends true tales of the uncanny with manga storytelling. This is the winner of the 3rd annual Scariest Horror Story competition. And we have Yamayu, who has won the competition, spending over 20 years collecting real life hauntings from all across Japan and putting it together, all of these spine tingling accounts that are brought to life by Kenji Hokumoto, whose artwork cuts straight through to human fears, horrors, and madness in this collection. So, for the horror fans, this is a collection that you don't want to miss out on, and both of these manga titles I'm extremely excited for. So next up is my cover picks on the single issues for this FOC. And first up, I had to talk about Infernal Hulk issue number 3. We have Eldest, who had literally torn Bruce Banner and the Hulk apart, taking the Hulk's body as their own, with their diabolical plan to plunge the world back into ancient horrors by transforming our heroes into nightmarish beasts. This is rated parental advisory. If you read issue number 1, definitely so, because it is very, very gory, but also stunningly beautiful. The thing that struck out to me when reading issue 1, you have Hulk coming in, leveling the landscape, mayhem begins, and the landscape itself, the way that it's drawn, flesh-like, almost like you've like landed into this landscape of muscles, fibers, and sinew, which is very, very disgusting, but also very beautifully portrayed in the interior artwork. And I had to spotlight Nick Klein's cover art for this issue, because you can see that. You can see a little bit of that here, where you have these very horrific monstrous being looming in the background, but in the forefront, a very innocent dinner, a family dinner that you see here, that's seemingly unaware of the horrors that loom in the background. So really cool. I love the juxtaposition between sort of the very innocent but also mundane, but then the horror that is behind them. So yes, truly, truly beautiful artwork. I can't say it enough. You have to pick it up if you haven't done so already. And yeah, issue 3 on this FOC. Next up, we have Night City, issue number 1. This is cover art done by David Lapham, who also does the interior art here. This is a brand new action series done by David, but also with Matt Kent. We have this legendary hero who is caught between worlds. He soars by day as a symbol of hope, but the moment he falls asleep, he enters into this universe that is devoid of heroes, and he leads a very mundane and ordinary life. So as the pressures of this dual universe mount on him, his heroic self begins to crack, pushing him towards a mental breakdown. And so, in a world that measures the loss of human life that occurs when he takes just one night off, it adds that weight of responsibilities that become way too much for him. And so ultimately, he's left with this decision and choice that he has to make. Does he embrace his extraordinary abilities, or does he just succumb and seek solace in the ordinary? Will he stand tall as a hero the world needs him to be, or will he just sink into this piece of a simpler life existence? So, interesting story, 3-issue series coming out, and so on FOC for you to pre-order. And next up, we have Love Ignited 2026. I particularly chose to spotlight the David Telesky 1 in 10 ratio incentive variant because I think it's beautifully done. David is known for his pinup covers and beautifully illustrated here as well, as you can see. So this is Ignition Press's first anthology issue. This is an oversized issue. And it depicts love spanning between oceans to space, and emotions run hot in this romance. Some people go to the extremes, or person to person, or from person to creature that they desire. So sometimes love can be a little bit weird, but love nonetheless. And so, really interesting collection of stories, and I am picking up myself. And next up, we have Marian Heretic. This is issue number 4. You're looking at the trade dress version and also the full art version. And if you know nothing about this, I'll go over it briefly. But essentially, we have Sister Marian, who's a witch hunter, Mother Superior, a heretic. She's guided by a goddess that the church does not and refuses to acknowledge. And so Marian strikes a deal, a dark bargain, to become the church's personal enforcer. She delivers murderous judgment night after night, which night by night she could feel her soul fracture, but she does this to save the lives of her sisters whose lives are at stake. So continuing on in issue 4, facing the tyrannical leader of the church, Marian might finally have to choose a path that she can't turn back from, and now the church is on her heels. It looks like martyrdom. The name of her mother is the only future that she has. And so, again, chose this because a very gorgeous cover art that you're seeing here. And yeah. And next up for my next cover pick is Godzilla Kaisei Era issue number 7. This variant is done by Nicola Sujimashia, who does the interior art for the first arc. So actually, issue number 7 is a new story arc that begins here. So we have G-Force, who brought on a new era of global peace. Godzilla is seemingly no more, but there's a fire raging inside of Jason, who's a boy with the fire of the Godzilla. He sees the beast inside of his mind. So it was a question of, is it possible that this is all part of a larger plan? Is it possible that Godzilla will return? So again, beautiful art, of course, done here. Choosing to spotlight here because of that. And yeah, pick it up if you haven't done so. And we always end on some sort of news for this week. And so Seven Seas had announced a bunch of new license acquisitions that you can definitely recommend taking a look at on their website. But these are the 2 that sparked my interest that I particularly wanted to point out today. First up is The Prince's Body Pillow, Volume 1. We have Asuma, who is the sleepiest boy in school and the tardiest. He's either late or completely misses class, and it becomes Mahiro's responsibility because he's part of the disciplinary committee at school, and so it is now his responsibility. He never imagined being the alarm clock for this classmate. So he is actually forced to room with Asuma, and he learns very quickly that Asuma is a very deep sleeper, practically catatonic. Not even a world-ending disaster could wake the snoozing student. Except there is a very surprising solution that presents itself, where sleepy Asuma suddenly pulls Mahiro into his arms in bed, and somehow, some way, Asuma is able to wake up. So it looks like the secret to waking up the sleepiest boy, the sleepiest prince, is to share a bed. But this definitely isn't what my hero signed up for. Can these two polar opposites share sweet dreams, or will this end in a nightmare? And then next up, we have Hanaori-san still wants to fight in the next life, Omnibus Volume 1. And this one, we have uh, the character Narukami, who is your typical net. He spends his days shut in his room playing video games without a care in the world, living a lazy life. The truth is, he used to be a powerful demon king in another world. So why not spend this new life being lazy and spend all the day doing whatever he wants to do? Except he wasn't the only one that got reincarnated into this new world. The hero who struck him down is also here, and she got reincarnated into this really cute high school girl. So can Narukami survive reuniting with his foe in the new world, or will he find himself fighting even in this life? Both sounds very interesting. Can't wait till they come out, and yeah, had to mention it here. So thank you all for joining me today. As always, I enjoy doing this on a week-to-week basis. You'll find out on our next video. Come back to our YouTube channel there. And yeah, comment down below on what you'll be interested in picking up for this FOC. That's it for today. Bye, everyone.